So as you can see here, I've got the helmet all wet sanded down, and it looks pretty good. The spot putting wanted to peel in a couple places because I didn't let it dry long enough, but that's okay. So I'm just going to finish trying to dry this helmet off here. Now after you wet sand, you want to make sure you get it really dry, or at least pretty dry, because the paint will peel if you have water underneath it. And so after you wet sand it the first time, you can wet sand it again. You can spray more primer on it, and then put some more spot putty on there if you want to. But I think this one's good. So ideally, you should have a coat of primer on the helmet before you start putting on the silver and the rest of your paint. But I don't have primer, so it'll be alright. This plastic takes paint really well from what I've seen so far. Okay, so that should be pretty good. Now, in my video where I show you guys how to paint a helmet, it was actually the original ODSC helmet that I showed you on. I used silver spray paint, which is fine, you can still do that. But something I found after that was these little tubes. I think I got it at Michael's. It's called Rub and Buff, and it's like a wax basically, and it just comes in this little tube. And all you gotta do is put a little bit on the area where you have, like, imperfections in the Bondo, or if you just want to have like paint chips in that area, you can just squeeze a little bit on. It's not stopped up. I haven't used it in a while. Okay, so it's not want to come out. Alright, finally got it. So, like I was saying, if the helmet stays still, just put a little bit on there where you... There we go. Jeez. And then you have to, because this is wax and it's not like paint, it's not going to dry if you just leave it there, or if you just smear it around a little bit. You have to actually rub it in and buff it, like the title says on there. So just use your fingers, and you got to rub it on there pretty hard, and you'll start to feel it get a little warm, and it'll become like not slippery anymore, and that's when you know that it's kind of buffed in there pretty good, and it actually, I guess, kind of melts the wax into the helmet or whatever you're working on. So you don't want to put too much in one area because it spreads out a lot. I've had that tube for a long time and used it for a lot of different things, and it's still got some in it. Quite a bit, actually. So there you go. I get your fingers all silvery, but that's alright. It washes off pretty well. And as you can see, we have a really good silver finish there. So I'm going to do that on a couple more spots, wherever I think that the helmet needs some battle damage on it. And this is totally optional, of course. You don't have to put battle damage on your helmet if you don't want to. I think it makes it look more realistic, but that's just my opinion. And you don't have to do it. So I kind of like this stuff better than the spray paint, because the spray paint, it likes to peel if you don't, put it on good and wait long enough for the right time between coats of the other paint, and it just adds another coat of spray paint you have to worry about, because spray paint's finicky. So this stuff goes on easy, and don't have to worry about drying times. And it gives you a bit of a workout putting it on there, which is always good. So there we go. Okay. I'm going to put it on a few more areas, but I don't want you guys to have to sit here and watch me puff the whole helmet, so I'll be back in a minute. Well, I got it all silvered up on here where I want it. Dang acorns. Anyways, so I'm going to take some toothpaste. I like to use Vaseline more, but I don't have any right now. So I'm just going to put toothpaste on here. And in my other video, talking about the painting, I said that you had to put sand in the Vaseline. You don't really have to. I think I just read that somewhere, that it helped, and I did it. But I don't ever do it anymore, so you don't have to worry about it. I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't have to worry about it. So, just like before, just going to squeeze a little bit of toothpaste out here on like a screwdriver or anything you want. Try to get it kind of bumpy around the edges, you know, and everything, just to make it look like a real scar or scratch or something. And obviously only put it where you have the silver, or else you'll see white underneath. So you don't have to have much, just enough to keep the spray paint from hardening on there. Get some right here. I like to just put it wherever I have imperfections in the Bondo or the helmet, because then it gives you a way to hide those and then make it look good. You know, you can use them as battle damage, which saves you time. You don't have to get everything perfect. Still gotta fix that hole up there. You gotta try not to get your hands all in it, like I usually do anyways. Alright, that's good. Go ahead and leave it like that. So now we are ready for our first coat of paint. I haven't played Reach in a while, so I had to go on the internet and I printed out this little concept picture of an ODST helmet from Reach, and I'm going to use that as my paint scheme guide. And I'm going to use red and gray here, just because it's what I have and I like red and gray. So I'm going to go ahead and spray a coat of gray on, and I'll let you guys see it after that, and then we can move on to the red. So, you know, spray paint is pretty self-explanatory. You just gotta, don't put it on there too thick because it's going to want to peel and run and stuff, so just spray enough on there so it covers everything. And it's better to have multiple light coats than like one or two thick coats. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll see what happens with the red. Okay guys, so got the gray on here, and it's dried up pretty nice. Let it sit for about 45 minutes, just so it tacks up enough. And spray paint's finicky when you're putting more coats of paint on, or different colors. You got to be really careful and read the instructions on the back of the can, or else you'll start having orange peel and bubble and fisheye and everything like that. So anyways, what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and tape up the stripes here that I see. I don't have a picture of the back, and I didn't look at it, so it's just going to be kind of my artistic interpretation of it here. So I'm just going to use some blue painter's tape, because it's the best tape for masking, and just going to kind of eyeball it where I think it needs to go. So right there. And you don't want to push it down too hard, because then it'll be harder for you to peel it up after the paint's dry, or the the other coat of paint, without it peeling. So you got to be careful about that. And it'll probably peel anyways, because spray paint's bad about doing that. Okay, let's see. Sometimes what I'll do once I get the stripe paint up for like a secondary color or something, I'll come back with more of my toothpaste and I'll put it around the areas. Like, see right here, I have the toothpaste that prevented the gray from going onto the silver. So now I'll put a little bit more toothpaste around that area, so that when I wipe it off you have like different layers of paint, so it looks like the gray paint got chipped off of the silver, and then on top of that the red got chipped off of the gray around it. So it just adds a little bit more realistic effect to it, and it looks pretty cool. Again, it's totally optional, but I like to do it. So that should be good. You don't have to put it all over, the whole thing, just wherever you want to. So, finish taping this off here. Don't know where it ends in the back, but I'm gonna say hold that like that, and then I'll end it like right in here somewhere. That's pretty good. Alright, so there's my one stripe. I'm going to go ahead and tape up the rest of the areas that I need to for the red, and then I'll go ahead and spray that and show you guys when it looks done like that. And I believe there is some black in the areas, kind of like right in here maybe, and then like the little white detailed writings on the side and everything. So I'll do those after the red. So that'll be next, and see you in a little bit.